Rowoon and Park Eun-bin's fairy tale wedding, the event of the decade that captivated Asia. Weddings in the Korean entertainment world have always carried a certain magic. The union of two stars doesn't simply mark a private milestone, it often transforms into a cultural moment that millions of fans share collectively, almost like an extended family. And yet, even with this tradition of grandeur and attention, nothing could have prepared the world for the wedding of Rowoon and Park Eun-bin. Dubbed by both the media and the fans as the event of the decade, their wedding was more than just a glamorous ceremony. It was a living fairy tale, a day filled with laughter, tears, history-making moments, and a kind of authenticity that cut through the glitter of fame. Held in Seoul, the wedding has already been cemented as a cultural milestone in the ever-evolving landscape of Korean entertainment, inspiring conversations across Asia and beyond. This is the story of how one wedding captured hearts globally and reminded the world that true love, raw, vulnerable, and unshakable, can shine even brighter than the spotlight. A wedding that stopped Asia in its tracks. From the moment news of Rowoon and Park Eun-bin's engagement was announced, excitement reached fever pitch. Fans from Seoul to Singapore, from Tokyo to Los Angeles, began speculating about the date, the location, and every possible detail of what would surely be the most anticipated wedding in years. By the time the official day arrived, it felt as though an entire continent was holding its breath. In the days leading up, Seoul was buzzing. Paparazzi camped outside possible venues, fashion experts debated about Park Eun-bin's potential dress, and millions of fans set alarms to ensure they wouldn't miss the live stream. And when the first images began to filter through, it was clear, this wasn't just a wedding. This was history in the making. The venue, a scene straight out of a drama. The ceremony took place in Seoul, at a venue that had been transformed into what guests later described as a dream brought to life. Rows of flowers, white, blush pink, and soft cream, lined the aisles, their delicate fragrance blending with the faint sound of a live string orchestra. The lighting was carefully designed to bathe the entire hall in a warm, ethereal glow, giving the impression that everyone inside was living inside a romantic Kdrama. Attendees whispered in awe as they stepped inside. It was like walking into a movie set, one guest later revealed. But it felt real, like the perfect balance between fantasy and sincerity. The venue alone set the tone. This was going to be a wedding remembered for generations. Family at the heart of the ceremony. What elevated the occasion beyond glamour was the deep presence of family. Parents from both sides attended with proud smiles, siblings looked on with joy, and close relatives added an unmistakable warmth. While the entertainment world thrives on spectacle, this wedding reminded everyone that behind the glitz, Rowoon and Park Eun-bin are simply a son and a daughter, a man and a woman, beginning a new chapter surrounded by love. The moment the families from both sides embraced, tears streaming down their faces, the entire audience broke into applause. It was, according to many, the most touching and unforgettable scene of the entire day. Rowoon's entrance, elegance and nerves. When Rowoon finally appeared, the hall seemed to pause. Dressed in a perfectly tailored tuxedo, his tall frame exuded elegance and charisma. Yet, what struck people most was not his physical presence but the nervous energy in his eyes. Gone was the confident actor on screen, the idol adored by thousands. Before them stood a man about to make one of the most important promises of his life. That vulnerability made the moment even more powerful, grounding the fairy tale in real human emotion. Park Eun-bin, the bride who stole everyone's breath. And then, the doors opened, and in walked Park Eun-bin. The room erupted in gasps and muffled sobs. Wearing a gown that managed to be both simple and breathtaking, she embodied a quiet elegance that seemed almost otherworldly. The dress wasn't adorned with excessive jewels or elaborate embroidery. It was pure, graceful, and timeless, a reflection of her natural beauty and authenticity. As she walked down the aisle, hand in hand with her parents, her eyes shimmered with unshed tears. Fans watching the live stream described her as the most beautiful bride in history, and social media immediately exploded with hashtags like #ArunBinTheBride and #RowoonLuckyMan. The Vows. Love beyond stardom. The highlight of the ceremony came when Rowoon and Park Eun-bin exchanged their vows. They spoke not as celebrities putting on a performance, but as two people laying bare their hearts in front of family, friends, and millions watching worldwide. Rowoon's voice trembled slightly as he promised to stand by her through every storm, while Park Eun-bin's tearful smile melted hearts as she vowed to cherish him through every season of life. Behind-the-scenes sources later revealed that Rowoon had practiced his vows multiple times in private, determined to deliver them perfectly. Meanwhile, Eun Bin reportedly wrote handwritten notes to each member of her bridal team, thanking them personally for making her day so special. These details underscored a truth fans already knew. Their love story was built on humility, gratitude, and sincerity. A family's tears, a nation's joy. Perhaps the most emotional moment of the entire wedding was when the families from both sides joined the couple on stage. Parents hugged their children tightly, siblings wiped away tears, and for a few minutes, the cameras captured something rarely seen in the entertainment world, a raw display of love and unity. Fans later admitted that this was the moment that broke them. "It felt like watching my own family," one international fan wrote. "I cried as if it were my own sister getting married." It was more than celebrity worship, it was a moment of collective human connection. The reception, laughter, music, and star-studded joy. After the ceremony, the celebration continued with a grand reception. The hall was transformed into a lively party, with gourmet food, flowing champagne, and heartfelt speeches. Friends and colleagues from across the industry delivered emotional toasts. Some shared funny anecdotes from the couple's courtship, while others revealed tender stories that had never been known to the public. The blend of laughter and tears carried the night, making the reception as memorable as the ceremony itself. Stars like Kim Go-eun, Nam Joo-hyuk, and Kim Se-jong were spotted cheering loudly, while industry veterans nodded approvingly at the authenticity of the union. Millions watching, millions cheering. Thanks to live stream coverage, millions of fans across Asia and the world felt as though they were part of the celebration. Hashtags related to the wedding trended globally within minutes. Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok overflowed with screenshots, clips, and heartfelt reactions. Fans from Japan, the Philippines, Indonesia, and even the United States confessed to staying up all night to watch. "It felt like attending a family wedding," one fan wrote. Another said, "I don't even speak Korean, but I cried as if I understood every word." The collective emotion was staggering. For a few hours, geographical boundaries dissolved, and the world united around one love story. Viral photos, proof of a fairy tale. The first official wedding photos, released the following morning, broke the internet. Images of Rowoon gazing lovingly at Eun Bin, of her leaning her head gently on his shoulder, and of the two walking hand in hand became instant icons of modern romance. Within hours, the photos were shared millions of times, breaking records on Korean platforms and going viral worldwide. To fans, they weren't just pictures, they were proof that fairy tales exist. Cultural significance. A new era in K-entertainment. Beyond the emotional spectacle, analysts were quick to point out the cultural significance of the wedding. In an industry where celebrity couples often hide their relationships out of fear of fan backlash, Rowoon and Park Eun Bin chose transparency. They not only confirmed their relationship but shared their union openly with the world. This decision is already being hailed as a turning point in K-entertainment, a move toward openness, honesty, and trust between stars and fans. Many believe this could encourage other celebrities to be more candid about their relationships, reshaping how love and marriage are perceived in the industry. Fan speculations. What comes next? In the days following the wedding, discussions have shifted from the event itself to the couple's future. Will they star in another project together, this time as a real-life couple? Will they quickly move toward building a family? Fans and media alike are eagerly speculating, though for now, most simply wish them happiness in their new life together. As one fan put it, "They've given us enough already. Now it's time to let them live their fairy tale in peace." A milestone beyond entertainment. In the end, the wedding of Rowoon and Park Eun Bin was more than a celebrity event. It was a milestone in Korean culture, a reminder that love, honest, vulnerable, and true, can transcend fame, borders, and even language. For millions of fans across the world, it wasn't just about watching two stars marry. It was about believing in love again. About crying tears of joy for people they had never met. About feeling, even for a night, like part of a global family. And that is the power of love stories like Rowoon and Park Eun Bin's. They don't just entertain. They inspire.